you guys? Everybody may get a little stretch or something. This is the last presenter of the day, so I hope you guys are excited about this. Have you guys had a good time so far? Have you had a good time so far? Awesome. Well, listen, thank you so much for sticking around for this talk. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Renata Bloch. I'm the co-founder of EBY, and Sofia Vergara is my co-founder as well. I'm going to talk to you really quick about how we came together, what we're doing, and why we're doing it. So my background originally is in microfinance. Does anybody know what this is? Raise your hand. Cool. So when I graduated from college, I didn't get my dream job and decided to take a trip around the world for a year. And while I was taking this trip, I ended up in India, and I was cleaning the villages. It was after the tsunami, and a woman came up to me and she said, "I don't want your money. Can you just teach me how to make it?" And I was like, I'm so freaking broke right now. Like, I have financial aid up to here. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but it really stuck with me. And I was watching all this aid come in and watching these very powerful women become dependent on aid. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Anyways, I ended up finding microfinance, and there was this guy doing microfinance in Bangladesh, and his name was Muhammad Yunus. So I went, I studied under him, and the next year he ended up winning the Nobel Peace Prize for microfinance. Came back and told this woman, hey, I know how to do this. She's like, great, I have some friends, meet me at the square. So go to the square, and she literally had 800 women, and they all sat down, and like, we all want to learn. So I was like, so much for saving the world. But anyways, I ended up living in India and doing this microfinance program with 800 women, and something really interesting happened to me. While I was living there, women would always say to me, wow, it must be horrible living in the States, showing your cleavage and your legs to get a man. That must be horrible. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm Colombian. I grew up in Miami. Like, normally, like, it's short and tight. And I was like, I hate wearing the sari every day, right? Like, it's so, you make me swim in this. I'm going to drown one day. And so it was really weird, right? After living there for 2 years, I came back and I was watching the Victoria's Secret show, and I was like, wow, maybe they're right. Maybe we do use seduction to objectify women, and what if we could use seduction to empower women, right? And it really set me on this trip that I've continued to be on. So fast forward, I was reading this chapter, and I don't know if you guys know this author called Deepak Chopra. Does anybody know this? So reading an article, and they said to him, what are you doing now? And he said, I'm supporting innovative solutions for poverty alleviation. And I'm like, well, I got one, right? I want to use lingerie to empower women. Anyways, wrote him like a kid with a dream, and he and I became great friends, and he wrote a chapter about me in one of his books called The Soul of Leadership. And funny enough, the former CEO of Victoria's Secret read this chapter, and she was like, I want to meet this girl. And I was like, I just totally like talked so much shit about Victoria's Secret, and I was like, she's gonna scream at me. And met me, and she was like, listen, I've spent my entire 30 years creating lingerie that men want to see women in, and you apparently want to empower women. If I can help you, let me know. And she's like, and if you really want to empower women with it, she's like, this is what you should do. Basically took me under her wing, taught me everything I knew, sent me to live in a factory in Sri Lanka, and I am now a professional thong slinger, because that's what I do. Never did I expect that that would ever have happened. So started making underwear, selling in small stores. And Grace said to me, you need to see how women shop. So she's like, go sit in stores. So I was miserable sitting in all these stores watching women buy underwear. But what I realized was that women were buying underwear in handfuls. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And I would talk to them like, how often do you do this? I'm like, oh, 4 to 5 times a year. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And I'm like, how many underwear do you have in your drawer? I don't know, 30 something. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I was like, that kept on happening. And I'm like, wow. And we were giving 10% back to microfinance, because the whole goal was, with the one decision that you make every morning, that you can empower another woman. Because I knew, being adopted myself, that the rest of the world was really the 99%, and that we are the 1%. Because if you are a nurse or a school teacher, you fall within the 1% wage of the world, which means that every single one of us here is part of the 1%, right? And so that really meant a lot to me, right? And I've always known that. So you know, it was important for me to be able to create a product that, with that one decision we all made, that we can empower another woman, because we all can't move to India and empower 800 women the way that I was able to do, but I wanted to empower other women to have an impact. So anyways, I started this little business talking to women, And I was getting a lot of grief from plus-size women because they're like, you're about empowering women, but you're only selling extra small to extra large. Like, what's that about? And then I went back to Grace Nichols, and I'm like, first of all, I'm getting reamed at right now, and I'm not standing for women's empowerment. I'm a sellout. 2, women are buying underwear in bulk, so we should put this on subscription. And she was like, don't focus on plus size. She's like, Victoria's Secret would never do that. And I go, exactly. That's why I'm going to do it. So anyways, I was like, I don't want this wholesale business anymore. I want to do subscription. And while I was doing that, Sofia Vergara got a hold of my underwear, and her team actually contacted me, and they were like, listen, Sofia loves your underwear. She's tried every underwear out there. Are you interested in bidding for the global exclusive rights to her intimates and shapewear category? And I was like, I know Ashton Kutcher's gonna pop out and just tell me that I'm being punked right now, right? I'm like, you're fucking kidding me? And so I was like, well, okay, let's think about this on a business perspective. This woman is incredibly unapologetic. She really embraces her seduction, and she's one of the most powerful women in business, especially in Hollywood. So I'm like, she would actually work with what I'm doing. And I'm Colombian and she's Colombian, so I knew that we would hit it off. So I met her, and she was like, listen, I'm gonna sell a ton of underwear because I'm Sofia Vergara, but if I'm gonna do it, I wanna have an impact. She's like, I was able to make it through business, and I wanna help other women make it through business. But I don't wanna do it through charity because that's limited donor funds. I don't wanna ask for donations, but I really wanna be able to empower the women with one decision that they make. And I'm like, well, you're selling my company to me, which is weird because that's what I say. So we totally hit it off, and she ended up becoming the co-founder in the business, which was huge, right? Signing that deal was just like, this is awesome. But it was awesome because, you know, here we have somebody who really is a stand for empowerment of women. She's not talking about it. She's not part of the Me Too movement. She's creating a business that will consistently fuel the empowerment of women, right? And I think that's very badass because that's in your actions. Anyway, so we launched EBY in September 2017. We did our beta, 3 months of breaking everything, doing everything wrong, which was so much fun, watching everything crash and burn. But we did a real launch in January, and it's a year now, and we have over $3 million annualized run rate. We have over 15,000 subscribers. We're on our way to a $10 million annualized run rate, where we will then do our Series A. And we have over 2,500 5-star reviews. Women love it. All women love it. We're one price, no matter the size or the style. And it's been an amazing ride, right? I think that Sofia's been a real partner to me. It's not easy, even having her. It's really, really tough. The technology has enabled us to be able to get to know our customers really well. We have a post-checkout survey, and then we ask women, like, what do you want to know about? The goal of EBY is to add value at every single touch point of her life, that it's just not in underwear, right? So that we're a community of women. So that's where we are today. The goal of the company is to enroll over 1 million women. If you see Ipsy has over 4 million subscribers, it's a makeup bag. Stitch Fix had 2.7. If Sofia and I can't enroll 1 million women into this, then we really should go home. We feel strongly that we can do this, and today, in just a year, we've empowered over 1,000 women to start their own businesses. So this is really exciting. Thank you. Thank you. So I wanted to make this snappy and exciting. If you guys have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer anything about celebrity deals, how to strike them, deal structures, anything like that, or any struggles or anything like that. I'm super open. I'm an East Coast girl. Ask anything. Sure. Yeah, good one. So EBY stands for Empowered by You. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, 100%. So there's 2 boxes. There's a $16 box and there's a $45 box. $45 box is tying into women's buying habits. So it delivers once every 3 months. You get 3 underwear. And you can select your preferences. So you can, like, girls either love thongs or they don't, or you like a mix of it, or you like just briefs and cheekies, right? And then some girls love neutrals, and most girls love color and print. So you get to select your preferences, and then we surprise and delight you. Sofia designs every single print. She's very, very hands-on, and she has an amazing eye, right? She's different from like a Jessica Alba or like a Kate Hudson or a Gwyneth Paltrow, who are amazing. Sophia's still in your living room Monday to Friday. Her contract just got extended with Modern Family for another 2 years. She's coming out with a huge, I can't talk about, but her career is about to go to another level. So she's really connected to her customer. And for example, we were having a concept meeting, and she's like, I don't know. She's like, how do you feel about shapewear? I'm like, I hate shapewear. I'm like, even, all women want to wear shapewear, but it's like, I feel like I'm being strangled at dinner and I'm saying things I don't want to say. And she's like, yeah, I feel the same. And she's like, why don't we make some shapewear that like will support and smooth her without constricting and confining her, and use our technology from the underwear to do that? And I'm like, that's freaking brilliant, right? Of course, it took me 9 months to figure this whole thing out. Her idea was genius, and then I was able to execute on that. So in that respect, we're really great partners, but she's brilliant, right? And so it's nice to have a partner like her. So there's 2 boxes, $45, and then a $16, which is once a month. Oh my God, business failure. I'm failing all the time. Are you kidding me? I mean, I think just as women, we're so hard on ourselves, and we're the ultimate perfectionists, so nothing is ever good enough. So it's just constant misery. But it's so exciting, right? Like one day you're hanging onto your seat, the next day you have your hands in the air, and it's just constantly, there's no middle ground. Listen, God, I can't even tell you. I mean, we basically signed the deal with Sophia in 2017, and then in March, launched the site in September. And it was like, I was like Mark Zuckerberg, and he's like, you know what? Fail fast, break everything, and speed is more important. And we did that, right? Had I known now what I know now, then it would have been really interesting. But I think that, everybody has this conversation about failure, and they really glamorize it. And it's like, oh, it's the only way to succeed. And it's like, the only reason why failure is important is because you build your competency. You just become smarter and better. There's no glamour in it. The only thing that there is for you is to know that you have to try again so that you continue to be better and that those things don't happen to you. So there's not one. It's every single day I am learning more, and I'm learning a lot on the job. One of the things that I feel has helped me tremendously is that I'm always I'm reaching out to amazing people and asking them to mentor me, right? Like the COO of Harry's is my mentor, and he's an advisor of my company because I stalked him, and I'm like, you have to help me with subscription. Like, I am gonna have a huge impact in the world, and you can have an impact in the world through me. How are you gonna give this up? Like, this is one less stop to heaven. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'm sold. And so I think that, passion, people love passion, people wanna be a part of something bigger, and it really helps through, those failures. Thank you guys so much for this. I really appreciate it. If you guys want a discount on our boxes, use Sophia50, you get half off. Thanks a lot, I hope you enjoyed that.